So mix Kale with like Snape and you've got my mind of Raven. I'm not saying it's
Adam
fair.
Driver.
Oh, yeah. Hello again. Welcome to this episode of Smut a Girl Wants Book Club, where two best friends talk about a book that we have just read. I am Kabriel.
I am TJ.
Today, we are going to be talking about
One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig.
We're Professionals.
Yes.
Let's talk about how we found this book first.
I think I just saw people talking about it.
How did we find this book?
It was just everywhere because it came out and it was. I remember. I think we read it before this happened, but a ton of people review it as their like one of their top reads of the year.
A friend of mine recommended it to me.
Yeah.
We've talked about a couple books this friend has recommended actually, so good job, Haley. She recommended it to myself and Devin, and we did a little book club of this particular book. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what inspired it though, because I have an idea, but I feel like that can't have been it. But I think she was excited because it was a duology, and the second book was about to come out.
Right.
So we obviously didn't read it right when it had come out. I remember seeing the cover a lot and being like, that looks super cool.
Yeah.
We got into it, and I thought the premise was fabulous.
Yeah.
So do you want to hear some fun facts I know about Rachel Gillig?
Always.
So she is from California. I believe she still lives there. She likes duologies because she prefers the idea of one long book with an intermission.
That is lovely and very poetic.
I love that as a concept. Yeah. So I think she hasn't had a lot of books. One Dark Window was her debut novel. It was always designed to be crazy, right? Yeah. What a success for a debut novel. My gosh.
She is good at what she does.
Yeah, and it came out in 2022.
Okay, so it took some time to get like off the ground. Like not that long.
Not that long. I feel like I read it 2 years ago maybe now.
I think we read it in 23.
No. I think I read it in 23. No, that can't be right.
No. That's when I read The Kingdom of the Wicked.
I didn't read it at the same time as you. But anyway, I think I might have read it in the fall.
Yeah, like I think we read it in 2024.
No, because it's 2026 now.
Yeah, so that would make sense.
Where is it?
Yeah, because I don't think we read it last year.
No, of course not. No. That doesn't make sense.
No.
But we also didn't read it 3 years ago.
No.
I'm dumb.
No.
She likes gardening, and she has a dignified poodle named Wally.
I like that.
This is a fun one. She's very proud of the fact that she's been in therapy for 5 years.
Good for her.
Helps her deal with her performance anxiety.
I support that.
Therapy.
Nice.
You love to see it.
Okay. Should we get into the bio summary?
Why, yes, TJ. Let's get into it.
Okay. Perfect. For fans of 2 books we've not read, comes a dark, lushly gothic fantasy about a maiden who must unleash the monster within to save her kingdom, but the monster in her head isn't the only threat lurking. Elspeth needs a monster. The monster might be her. Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie, mist-locked kingdom she calls home. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient, mercurial spirit trapped in her head. He protects her, he keeps her secrets. But nothing comes for free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road, her life takes a drastic turn. Thrust into a world of shadow and deception, she joins a dangerous quest to cure the kingdom of the dark magic infecting it. Except the highwayman just so happens to be the king's own nephew, captain of the Destroyers?
Yes, that's how I read it.
Oh, nice. And guilty of high treason.
Oh.
He and Elspeth have until solstice to gather 12 Providence cards, the keys to the cure. But as the stakes heighten and their undeniable attraction intensifies, Elspeth is forced to face her darkest secret yet. The nightmare is slowly, darkly taking over her mind, and she might not be able to stop him.
Dun, 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 dun.
Good little spiel.
That is a pretty good little spiel, actually.
Yeah, that like really...
Yeah.
Because I remember reading it and being like, okay.
I can't wait to talk about plot for this book because I thought the plot was fabulous. But first things first.
Yes.
We are going to talk about characters. On a scale of 1 to 5, how much did we like the characters in the book?
5.
I give them a 5.
Yeah.
Actually,
specifically the Nightmare.
I might give them a 4, and I will tell you why.
Yeah.
And it is a very specific reason.
Okay.
And I'm so sorry, Raven. Raven made me... I pictured Raven the same way I pictured Kale. I know. I don't know why. I just did. Maybe it's because he was like captain of the guard and he's kind of described as a little bit more like uptight or something.
I kind of pictured him as like an uptight Dorian.
Nope. Nope. Because I pictured the prince as Dorian.
Yeah.
And I pictured this guy as Kale.
Wasn't the prince blonde? I think he was.
Okay. Listen here, miss.
Or was he redhead?
I don't know what's going on.
I don't remember.
My brain is doing its own thing. I also, up until about 2 hours ago, thought it was Elsbeth. this whole time.
It's Elspeth.
I know. It wasn't until I was like, let's look up fun facts. I was like, Elspeth? Are you kidding me? The spelling in this book is honestly kind of good. Like, I like it, but...
Was Raven described as dark hair? I can't remember.
He's described like a raven with a big old nose.
Yeah, and he has like a more
Isn't Kale described as like dark hair? Or like brown?
Kale has brown hair.
Well, so what?
But I was picturing like dark hair, like kind of like handsome, but like more kind of defined strong features.
Okay, so mix Kale with like Snape and you've got my mind of Raven. I'm not saying it's
Adam
fair.
Driver.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was literally Adam Driver.
He is described as Adam Driver. Apparently the writer has a huge crush on him or something. I don't know if that's true, but he's meant to be kind of Adam Driver-esque.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's what I was kind of picturing. Nope. But like a pretty, like a more delicate Adam Driver in my mind was what I was picturing.
Nope. Not me.
Oh, well, there you go.
Anyway, it's the main character, though.
Yes.
Elspeth.
I thought, like, there was, like, really interesting sort of tension. Mm-hmm. The Nightmare is delightful. Yeah. I think he's such a good character.
So good.
My favorite bits were when Elspeth and the Nightmare were interacting. I thought he was hilarious. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because he's kind of regal, but also kind of sassy in a way that I was here for.
Like, I got very much, like, Rumpelstiltskin energy from him. Like very, like, gremlin energy.
Yeah, I got Rumpelstiltskin too, actually,
like,
now
just
that I think
kind
about
of,
it.
like...
Yeah, but also, like...
yeah, like, big and, like, regal. Yeah, but also, like...
Feisty.
Very feisty and, like, kind of, like one of the goblins from Labyrinth.
Oh, that's not it. Excellent, that rubbish. It doesn't even start with I wish.
It's like, you know?
Yeah.
So, that's what I was getting.
But overall, I think all of the characters really suited the world, and I thought that they seemed, like, pretty well-rounded. They had depth. They just... Yeah, I quite enjoyed it.
Kind of kept me on my toes.
It's
very different too. I love a creative magic system.
Yes, so this is one of the reasons we're so excited to talk about plot, because I don't think we can talk about the characters without getting into the plot. Yeah. So we'll just burn through. Next up, we are going to talk about blush. On a scale of 1 to 5, how blush worthy is this book?
Honestly, kind of a 4.
Girl, I was going to give it a 2.
Oh, I thought it was very blushy. Like it's not spicy.
You are right. I'm going to give it a 3. Yeah. I'm not giving it a 4.
Yeah, because I thought there were very romantic moments the whole way through.
And it worked. Like, it wasn't like it was out of nowhere or anything.
No,
they kind of...
It's not romance heavy. I think this is a book that I would almost hesitate to call a romantasy. Yeah. Because, like, it is a fantasy book with, like, a romance subplot that is, like...
I think people who are calling this... Yes. I think people who are calling this a romantasy is probably just because it's a buzzworthy word right now. Yeah. It's no more romance than any fantasy book I've ever read. Like, it's definitely not romance heavy. Mm-mm. I bought into the relationship between the two of them for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Really, really great. It's very much a slow burn, so you get to see it really develop, which was quite nice. Yeah. I think they suited each other, which was nice.
I thought they were really interesting together. There were a lot of moments that had me blushing. Yeah. It just wasn't very spicy. Mm-hmm. Which I thought was kind of fun. It was kind of refreshing to read a book where the romance was like an extra detail, but not like the main plot.
Yeah, it was like the romance was not the strongest feature of this book. And that's not to say that it wasn't well done. It's just that the book had a lot of other things going for it. Yes. As far as spice level goes, on a scale of 1 to 5, how spicy do you find this book?
1.
There
is one scene. So therefore it is
a 1. They don't go all the way.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Oh, it is a Faded Black.
No.
Yeah. No, they have sex in this book.
He like goes down on her and that's it. And then she falls asleep. I could almost double check.
Wow. I swore that they did. Okay. Well, I mean, that still kind of counts as
Black. Okay, so
either way, I would say that still counts as a 1 because that's still hanky-panky.
It's still there's some. That's true. Yeah. I have said this before, where I think of it a lot as like baseball, where like first base is 1, second base is 2.
Yeah, because like there's enough description that I would say like you would, if you're not into that, or if you're like being careful about like what your daughter is reading, for example.
Like I wouldn't be afraid of my teenage daughter, or your child in general.
Like I would have to say that this is a 1 because of that. Yeah, because it's like a little bit too inappropriate.
It's like maybe but for a kid, we're adults.
In general, not spicy. It's like, again, it's a little like seasoning for the book. Mm-hmm. It's just like it's one scene. It is like partly a fade to black, but there is enough description that I would not call it a 0.
Like I loved the scene.
Yeah,
it's just not that kind of book.
No. Which also was kind of refreshing. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It was great.
And now, drum roll, please. We are going to talk about plot on a scale of 1 to 5. How did we like the plot in this book?
Solid 5.
5.
5, 5, 5, 5.
Question
5,
I know the answer to. What did you think about the card system?
Loved it.
Loved it. So cool.
First of all, I always say this, but I love a book where the magic system and using magic
Has a cost.
Is dangerous. I think it just makes it more dynamic and interesting because like it stops your characters from getting too overpowered. I think there's some like interesting tension.
It adds stakes to it too.
Yeah. And then I thought, like, I also just love the aesthetic of a tarot card.
Yeah.
So that also, and like the fact that they were velvet on the side, I thought they were beautiful. Like,
I spent a lot of time trying to picture what the cards look like. I don't think I ever got it right.
It was very, like, rich in visual description.
But also just really creative.
Very creative, very interesting.
I've never read an idea like it. It was
think it's
really
interesting
lovely.
that you can lose the magic power because it's not yours. And I like that every single one had its own cost. And they all sounded awful.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, don't treat this lightly. And I like that it was separate from the magic of some of the people. So the whole point being that Elspeth has her own magic, which has its own cost.
Yes.
On top of this other magic that she's, because we'll say gifted, that she's been gifted with the nightmare.
Yeah.
That has its own, like, it was the right, I don't know, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I found it very interesting, very compelling.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it made, like, magic a little bit more, like, democratized in a way. Because, I mean, like, granted, you have to be, like, kind of rich to be able to get your hands on the cards. But also, you could just, like, happen to find one. Because some of them were lost.
Yeah.
And it was also interesting that they were limited. So, like...
That's one of the reasons I think the kind of... The world that had been built by Rachel. I was like, the world that had been built by Rachel makes sense because it just made sense that there would be these limited edition magic things that would give people this kind of power and status, and then they could use that to like amp themselves up in the world or like achieve certain goals. And I was like, it made perfect sense. Yeah. Fascinating. Loved learning about it.
The way that you like slowly learn more and like slowly learn that the nightmare like knows more. I can't remember when I suspected who the nightmare was, but it was like, I think it was relatively early on, actually.
Not me.
It was during one of her dreams.
Humble brag.
Well, it was cool how it was revealed and sort of how you learn more about why the world is the way that it is and how things kind of weave together.
I was
fascinating.
Floored.
I read the first chapter and I was like, I'm in.
Right?
It was so well done. It was such a good hook for it. It was great. It was really, really good. Yeah.
I completely agree. Okay, over or under hyped?
Appropriately.
I think it's appropriately hyped too because it's quite hyped up. A lot of people are saying it's getting quite a lot of praise.
Excellent. It's well written. And I think the problem I have with a lot of these fantasy books is, they're pushed out really quickly. They're like lazily edited. And sometimes like something is sacrificed. And like sometimes the story is great. The writing isn't really there. They're just excellent storytellers. So you forgive the writing. This is someone who is a very excellent storyteller, but is also a very good writer. And you can tell. Incredible.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what else she does.
I know. I haven't read Night in the Moth. But apparently it's amazing.
Also a very creative magic system.
Also going to be a duology.
Yes.
As far as I know. Isn't it?
Yes. Yes, there is definitely. There was a cliffhanger.
Did the internet lie to me again?
I forgot that there was like a crazy cliffhanger.
Yeah. And what I will say about this one, One Dark Window, is it ends on a really good cliffhanger, but not such a cliffhanger that you're angry.
No.
Just enough that you're like, I cannot wait for the next book.
Yes. And I was happy that when I read it, Twisted Crowns had already come out. Which is great, because this one, for Night in the Moth, I have to wait for. And that ending...
don't pace yourself well? Crazy.
Wow. But that ending, I was like...
Yeah.
Wild.
Like, totally hooked.
Yeah, she's a very, very, like, creative writer. And I think there's, like... It had kind of, like, a fairy tale element to it, which I also really liked. Because I think I'm missing that from a lot of the fantasy, is that kind of, like, Grimm's fairy tale... sort of like whimsical nature, and this had that, but also the like gothic energy.
Yeah, but you know what else I think I liked? One last thing I just want to include as far as the plot goes. I think that one of the things I also really liked is while the magic system was very dynamic, and of course there are dangers with magic, I like that still the most dangerous element of the world was these people who were these people who had been corrupted by magic.
The mist.
The mist, the king, and just the way that they had kind of corrupted everything by using this. Loved it.
I thought it was really interesting.
Really, really good. I sunk into that world. I can still picture it vividly in my mind.
It was beautiful.
I was really entrenched in it. Yeah.
10 out of 10. Love
10
this
out of
book.
10.
Yeah. Definitely one of my favorite reads of whatever year we read it.
Yeah, whenever that was. Okay, that is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. We will see you next week when we talk about something smutty and delicious.
Can't wait to see what it is.
Me too.